We're goofing around.
OU versus South Carolina. OU is a 5.5-point favorite in this game. 11:45 a.m. in South Carolina. First, road game of the year. If you don't want to call Temple a road game, I kind of feel, but tough opponent in South Carolina. But they are 3-3. They've had a rough outing so far with LSU, Vandy, and Missouri.
Missouri.
Those are three tough teams. But honestly, the loss to Vandy, I don't know. I'm not too big on Vandy yet. So I just think this is a very winnable game. And I'm going to go ahead and make a big claim to start the pod. This is a must-win game. It's crazy to say must-win when you're only one loss in the SEC, because a lot of people would say two loss and you're in. But I think this is a must-win game. You look at the rest of the schedule, the rest of the 5 games after this, it doesn't get any easier at all. So, in my opinion, got to go get this one on the road to set up the rest of the season. So, huge game, actually. Really, I guess they're all huge games now. They're all huge games now. So, here we go into that part of the schedule that we were so worried about. What's your first thoughts, boys? I mean, is this an easy dub, or I don't know. What is this?
This feels like a I don't know why it gives me like that. This is like a Kansas State type of game for me, where it's like, man, we come off the loss, and you would think that we're like juiced up, ready to go, but somehow some tomfoolery, just some absolute foolishness happens, and we end up just flat, not coming out ready to go, and then something. I don't know. I hope not. I believe we'll win. But it wouldn't shock me if we lose. After last week, nothing will shock me for the rest of the year, honestly.
Yeah.
What about a national championship? Would that shock you?
That would shock me. that is the one thing. Only good things would shock me, bro. Only good things would shock me.
Yeah. First thoughts for me was, I need to talk about John Mateer real quick, okay?
Uh-oh.
Because I was a little upset on the last podcast. Let me be very clear. I think John Mateer is a good quarterback, and I think he just had a really bad game when he really needed to have a good game. He just really played terribly. One thing I will say that I respect about John that he's been doing this week is he's been completely owning his performance. He has not made any excuses whatsoever. He's been owning his performance, and he's been very much we're going to get back to work. Had a bad week. I'm ready to go for South Carolina. I'm full go at practice. I'm ready to get back. So, John, while it was frustrating this past weekend watching the performance that you put on, it is really good to see you, take accountability and be ready to go at it this week. On top of that, first thoughts about this game is, Spencer, you talked about how this is a must-win game. This isn't just a must-win game for our playoff hopes, but I would argue for BV's career. And the reason why I say that is because if you lose to South Carolina, basically you go back-to-back weeks of losing to teams that you should not have lost to. I don't care what anybody says. I would be shocked if the team flipped around and then went 4-1 or 5-1 the rest of the season. Because honestly, when you lose to Texas and South Carolina, 2 teams that you know you should have beaten, your overall team morale is going to drop. Your confidence and belief in yourself is going to drop. And that's not going to help you when you're on the road at Tennessee, when you're on the road at Bama, when you got LSU at home. That's going to be a problem. So I think that this is a huge game because obviously it has our playoff hopes on the line, because I just don't see us going undefeated or just one loss after South Carolina. And so if we don't win that, BV's going to lose the team. Listen, man. We talk about patterns, right? Kylan, you brought this up last podcast. It's just not going to happen where if the team were to lose to South Carolina this weekend, they're going to flip a switch and somehow go 5-0 the rest of the season. That's just not going to happen, or even 4-1. So they really need to win this game, because that'll at least allot us, a loss or 2. I mean, we all 3 predicted 9-3 this season, and I think 9-3 should get us in, considering how many teams have a loss and will likely get another loss. But the way I look at it is teams like Texas, right? They're probably done with their losses this season, right? They don't. They have Georgia, okay, so they'll probably lose to Georgia. But like outside of that, they're probably done with their losses. So I don't know. That's kind of just my first thoughts.
Teams.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Big Ten teams in that category that like Indiana that they're pretty much done playing their schedule already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I think the two things I'm watching this weekend are John Mateer. Is John Mateer gonna throw another interception? Like that's the big thing I'm watching.
Yeah.
Is John Mateer gonna increase that interception number again?
Yeah.
When will the decision making get better for him in those moments? And then two, I'm just watching the team's energy because honestly, like the second half energy was concerning in Texas. You're playing your rival, you're playing for the season, and the energy just wasn't there. I think a lot of people that watch the game can kind of agree with that. And I'm also watching for I just think that you don't come out this game with energy, you will lose this game. It's still an SEC road game, so
yes.
Yeah. I worry that we should see this team the same way that they played it against Michigan and they played against Auburn, which was they just came out just wanting to play football. If you don't see that versus South Carolina, then it's not going to be pretty the rest of the year. Like if they've lost their mojo for the year. So big task on BV, big task on Ben Arbuckle to get these guys locked back in because man, you have to have energy in the rest of the 6 games. The rest of the 6 games that we have ahead of us, you have to take each game one at a time and put full effort into those weeks. So, man, I do also want to talk about running backs for this week. Man, I know we already hit it, but I really got to thinking today. I was thinking today in the gym. I was pondering the running back room, and I was like, man. We're starting a true freshman running back. And I got to thinking about how crazy that is. That the only option we really have is a true freshman running back. And the reason that's crazy is because the guys behind him, Javonte Barnes, 4-star, Xavier Robinson, 4-star, Taylor Tatum, 4-star, Jaden Ott, the number 1 running back in the transfer portal. Dude, I just got to thinking today, I was like, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? Dude, if we cannot get this run game going, sure, maybe we can win at South Carolina without a run game, but I just don't know if we're doing that at Alabama. And I think the big reason I'm saying this is because what happened versus Texas? John Mateer did not play like Superman. John Mateer did play like Superman versus Michigan and versus Auburn, but he did not versus Texas. And you can't expect a quarterback to play like Superman for 16 games in a season to win the national championship. Like, that just can't happen every week. And when you have a run game as bad as ours, when you're starting a freshman running back over all these 4-stars, your quarterback has to be Superman. And I'm just like, we got to figure it out now. Especially before Ole Miss, you could maybe squeeze by South Carolina without a run game, but we just can't expect John Mateer to be Superman every week. He probably will be for a few more weeks. We probably got a couple more Superman appearances, but not every week, man. And I'm just starting to get worried. Like, I think that might be the death of us this season if we don't figure it out soon. It really could be it. Honestly,
yeah, I just can't think of a team. Honestly, like when you think of SEC, like when we're in the Big 12, when I thought of the SEC, I just thought of monsters being in the backfield and running through you at all costs. Like, I was like, if we have to play, besides even 2019 LSU with Hilaire, like, he could run, but they had the Monstars playing wide receiver, so he didn't really have to do that much. But, like, he could still run through you. Like, it didn't matter. But it's like, dude,
played great.
Like, literally, like, when I think of us, it's like, I genuinely think we could put 8 people in coverage and we still couldn't run the ball. They could put 8 people in coverage, we still couldn't run the ball. Like, it is that bad to it's like, yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, we are genuinely, like, a freshman running back is the best option we have. No shade or anything to Torrey Blaylock because he has earned it. He deserves it. And if you watch all of them run, I would put him out there too. But it's like, and I saw a tweet and it was talking about how Jim Nagy is escaping a lot of heat for, going out and spending $1 million on Jaden Ott because he was the next second coming, and he doesn't do anything. It's like we could have upgraded, instead of getting 2 Stanford guys to come play O-line, we could have got 2 Bama transfers, 2 Georgia transfers, or something like that to come beef up this O-line. We could have got some more receivers or some more playmakers at receiver. We could have done so much more, and now it's just, honestly, and I'm a big fan of it because when I was playing, I think it works. It is pulling people if you don't do your job. I really think that works extremely well. I know we want John in the game, but if John can't do the job, you got to get him out of there. We saw last week, it killed us. He couldn't get the job done. It killed us. If a running back cannot do the job, get him out of there. If a wide receiver is not doing the job, get him out of there. Elijah Thomas, Emmett Jones is saying Elijah Thomas is the best athlete on this entire team. He's never seen anybody like him. Guess what I've seen Elijah Thomas do all year? I've seen him run down on special teams. That's it. Put him in the game. Put him in the game. Deion Burks, I'm sorry, dude, not doing nothing this year. Nothing. I ain't seen Deion Burks. He was supposed to be top 3 rounds. No, he is not top 3 rounds. I mean, Satania's carrying the receiver core right now. Yep. So put ET in there. Let him do his thing. Javonte Gibson, he comes in every once in a while. He's 6'3". Throw the ball up to him. Figure something out, because right now we're doing the same thing. We run a little trick play, try and get cute on first down. Second down, we try and run the ball. It's 2nd and 10. We try and run the ball. Now it's 2nd and 12 because we lost 2 yards. And then what? Now John Mateer has to try and make a hero play, and that's a 50-50 shot, honestly. There's a 50-50 chance that he makes the hero play, and there's a 50-50 chance that he does not make the hero play and they get the ball. Yeah. So I'm really tired of stick with the guy that has the hot hand. Well, right now, there's not a lot of people on this team that have a hot hand on the offensive side of the ball. I'm sorry. Defense, I don't care who you put in there. You can put in anybody, and we will compete in the game. But offense, there's just too many people that are playing average. And average does not win championships in this league or on this team.
Yeah. Kylan, you brought up the point of like having to pull guys. The greatest coaches, and I'm going to bring up an example from Nick Saban, pull guys when they aren't performing. Prime example, Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. Nick Saban pulled Jalen Hurts in the middle of the national championship game.
Wasn't getting it done.
For Tua. And they won the Natty because Jalen couldn't get it done at that moment. Didn't mean Jalen wasn't prepared or ready or great. I mean, obviously he was a Heisman finalist at OU the year later. But he pulled him because he needed to. And that's kind of a situation that I think right now, and I hate to even bring this guy up, but Lincoln Riley pulling Spencer Rattler for Caleb Williams in OU Texas. Had he not done that, we would have lost OU Texas. That was a great decision. Caleb was a better player than Spencer Rattler. And so, obviously, the rest of the season, we had 2 losses, which I understand. But I'm just saying, in those moments, you need to be able to have the guts to do that. And, look, as much as I love John, it probably should have happened last week. I wouldn't say necessarily that it's John's fault because, he had his hand injury, but, and that doesn't mean that you start Michael for the rest of the season. It just says, that particular game, John shouldn't have been playing in it. And it showed clearly through his performance. Now, this does not only pertain to players, but also staff.
Yep.
Let's just be honest here. You got to be able to pull the plug on some of these OU alum coaches because it's getting bad. Spencer, you talked about DeMarco Murray. We've been talking about Joe John Finley for the last year now. What are we doing here? Seriously. Brent Venables, # open to work.
Open to work.
Open to work, baby. Open to work.
Open to work, DeMarco. Yeah.
The only major 2 fires Brent Venables has ever done was Ted Roof and Seth Luttrell. I don't understand personally, and I'm kind of like fending for Ben Arbuckle here, which is crazy. But why is it that an OC comes into town and he can't pick his own offensive staff? That doesn't really make any sense to me. I feel like if you're the OC and you're running the entire offense, you should have a say in who's coaching your running backs. You should have a say who's coaching your receivers. I love Emmitt Smith. I don't want him fired. But I'm just saying, you should be able to have that responsibility, and he doesn't have it. And BV just seems to have a loyalty over performance type of mentality. And the truth of the matter is if you want to win and you want to be the best at your job, you have to be willing to cut people who are not performing. And to be honest, DeMarco Murray is one of those guys. Torrey Blaylock is an amazing talent, and I'm so happy he's our running back. There's no reason a true freshman should start over a four-star senior, Javante Barnes. That shouldn't happen. And you're talking about, like, it shouldn't happen. I'm talking about physically. Javante had 4 years to train with OU football. He is stronger. He is more physical. There's no reason he shouldn't be starting, but he isn't. And the truth of the matter is, and I think, Spencer, you said this the other day, is I wonder if Torrey Blaylock is just starting because DeMarco Murray hasn't had enough time to mess him up yet. And that's a concern that I – did you not say that?
That's fair enough. No, I don't
Yeah.
remember. That's just –
maybe that's something I saw. But maybe that's just something I saw on Twitter. But that's kind of what my mind is at, is like, is he just starting because he doesn't have enough time? So I love DeMarco Murray as a player, but it's not working, and it hasn't worked. And, I mean, that also relates to Bill Bedenbaugh. Let's just air him out, too. Bill Bedenbaugh's had – listen, he's had 4 years, man. The O-line's done nothing. Listen, you can talk about his O-lines in the past. 8 years ago in 2017 with Baker Mayfield, yeah, it was amazing. They were the best O-line in the country. But since then, what have we really done? You can talk about Tyler Guyton. Okay, that's great. He was here before BV got here. What has Bill Bedenbaugh done since BV came into town? Nothing really. And that's kind of concerning, is like it's a mix of Bill Bedenbaugh, it's a mix of DeMarco Murray, Joe John Finley. Jaron Kanak is good, probably just because the same thing. Joe John Finley hasn't had enough time to mess him up yet. That's probably why he's so good, and he's a freak athlete. So that's kind of just where my mind is and we talk about this all the time, and I don't want to be the fan that's like overreacting because of one loss, but I am saying, like, you see these things happen year after year after year. It's been 4 years now. We're still having problems at running back. We're still having problems at O-line. We're still having problems at tight end. And the people who are in charge of those groups still have their jobs. That doesn't make sense to me. So
That's crazy,
that's kind of just my 2 cents. You got to be able to pull the plug.
I mean, everyone saw James Franklin. He's gone. Fired. They fired him at Penn State, and he went to the semis. He had I think they said the past 3 years it's been like 11 wins, 12 wins, and 13 wins.
Yes.
BV hadn't even sniffed 11 wins. Max was 10, and we lost in the Alamo Bowl or whatever. Like, what is there? If they can do it, I'm not saying we got to go out and fire BV right now. No, but there's a point, and it's like, wow, does Penn State value? Like, I feel like Penn State values winning in big games more than OU does. OU's cool because BV has been in the program, and he's a great guy. And honestly, BV, I think at the end of the day, being a great guy is better than being a good football coach. That's what it is. At the end, in the big scheme of things, yes. Yeah. But in this thing, then just quit being a coach and just go be a good guy. Just that's what you can do. If that's in my opinion. Because I mean, I love, and yes, I want a coach to be able to have the impact that he's having on guys, to make them better men, whatever. That's awesome. But I don't think it's that much that has to also be able to win games. Yeah. Because from my perspective, or all of our perspectives, we see exactly the problem, and it's that he does not pay enough attention to the offensive side of the ball, and he plays the loyalty game too much. If you fix those two things, you will not be a villain. You will not be an evil person, I promise. Because DeMarco Murray, honestly, frankly, I know a ton of people who suck at sports but know it like the back of their hand and could probably coach a team to a natty. I also know a bunch of people who are silly at sports but couldn't coach a thing. So those two do not correlate. DeMarco Murray, yes, Rookie of the Year. I mean, all-time OU running back. He just can't coach. That's the problem. He doesn't know how to get other people to do exactly what he did. He doesn't know how to communicate that and how to teach that. You look at Bill.
Yeah.
Bill had Joe Moore award-winning lineman. Like you said, bro, that's 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I just learned how to drive 8 years ago. We were in sophomores in high school 8 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's oh no, cool. That's so awesome. It's like at some point you just got to trim the fat on the program. What's not working, get it out of there. Ben Arbuckle,
Yeah.
I'm praying you do this young Lincoln Riley, I ain't seen it yet. I'm sorry to tell you, but I ain't seen it yet. Because that was Bill.
From
See,
Bill.
Bill, that's another reason you need to go because you lying. So quit lying. You're talking about this a young Lincoln. I see a lot of where Lincoln had us putting up 60 bombs on people. We can't even put up
Yeah.
a 50 bomb on freaking
Temple.
Illinois State. All these dudes.
Yeah.
And so it's like young Lincoln. He was doing it at Washington State. Washington State was playing dudes that were. He's playing the school of deaf and blind. So I don't know. There's a lot to go on, and these 6 games are going to tell the most about this program. And at the end of 2025, we might be seeing a whole new staff come marching in the building, and I won't be upset. I will be more than glad to help DeMarco pack his bags.
Back up the Brinks for Kurt Signetti.
Kurt Signetti ain't coming. Somebody gonna pay him some more money, bro.
Yeah, probably, bro.
I don't think we got
Kurt Signetti is the. I mean, if the Alabama job had opened today, it would, or this past season, it would have been him. It wouldn't have been Kalen
That's
DeBoer.
the Nick Saban of
Yeah.
college football
I
right
mean,
now.
What he's done at Indiana so quickly, and the way he does it, the culture that he builds, he's cooking. He is cooking.
Please come
And
to
Indiana.
Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Please
he's
come to
cooking.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, I agree with all your points. I think what upsets me about the running back room the most is that this problem wasn't figured out in the summer. I guess Torrey Blaylock did come out in the first game, but I just don't understand how we are, throw Jay Nott out there for a couple plays, see if he's good. You should know if
Yeah.
bro is you.
Yeah.
You should not be an OU Texas trying to find out which running back should be taking the snaps. No. It should be like, by OU Texas, you should have a guy that you primarily use for power and run blocking, and you should have a guy that you use for speed. And there should be no, we'll throw Jay Nott out there, see if he can get going today. And if he doesn't, pull him after 3 snaps. Because how
do you get going?
How do you get going? How does Torrey Blaylock get going if, he has a couple of 2-yard runs, and then you pull him and put Jay Nott in there, and then he has a couple of 2-yard runs, you pull him, put freaking Torrey Blaylock back in. You should have that figured out. They should know. They should have an idea of their position on the team, before OU Texas. It's ridiculous. That's what upsets me about the running back room, and I just worry, man, because if that doesn't get solved soon, like it has in past seasons, it's just not going to look pretty.
Yes.
In these next 6 games, man. And again,
Yes.
John Mateer can be Superman, but not 14 weeks in a season. It's just not going to happen. So,
Yeah.
That being said, again, like I said, I think John Mateer can do it by himself this week versus South Carolina. I think our defense is going to go nuts this week and have a great week. I think we can stop their run. And Nick Harbor is scary. Is Nick Harbor still?
Yeah,
Is he?
but he hasn't been doing.
He hasn't been going crazy. That's what I thought about Nick Harbor because I was hyping Nick Harbor up in the offseason, but now that I think about it, I haven't heard his name the entire season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I think our defense is going to go crazy. So hopefully these problems aren't too big of a problem this week.
Yeah.
But man, it gets
I
tough soon.
want to say one more thing. Kylan, you said something about Penn State firing James Franklin after going to the semifinals, going like 11-1, 12-1, whatever it was. What you said is that's a clear resemblance of their expectation for what they expect for their program,
yes.
their standard. And I feel like our standard here at OU has dropped significantly. I mean, significantly. And let's just be even real, bro. We haven't won anything since 2000. Bob Stoops went 15 years without touching a national title. And granted, he was in the game, a few times, so I'm no shade to Bob. If we could take Bob back right now, I'd take him back. But let's just be honest here, like that doesn't stem from even the standard of a program does not even stem from the head coach. It stems from the AD who is hiring him, who is keeping him in place. And this is something that I think that has not been talked about that maybe should be addressed is why is our AD, who is now retiring, why is he allowed 25 years to go by without a national championship? Why is he allowed the last 4 years with 3 bowl losses, a losing season, a season where we went 10-2, where we really should have gone undefeated after the Texas game? We just fell apart. And now currently we're looking at, if we don't win this weekend, we're going to be cooked the rest of the season. Why is he allowed that? And so not that I'm intentionally trying to throw shade here at Joe C, but I think it's important to recognize, like, OU used to have a standard of winning championships. That used to be our standard, and that's not really the case anymore, and it hasn't been for a long time. And if we're even being if we're even being honest here, 2000 was kind of just a fluke season. Like, we took college football by storm. We weren't really supposed to win. I mean, those 3 years before, we were just god-awful. The 90s, we were just terrible. We really kind of lost that excellence back in, like, the mid-80s. I mean, if we're really, like, taking it back. I mean, you go 40 years of winning one singular championship. You've had a few appearances, but you didn't win. I mean, you're playing Primeton Tebow. You're losing to LSU, you know. Yeah. Needless to say, I'm just saying that for us to now be called this blue blood that we've been, and I believe OU is a blue blood, but winning one championship in 40 years, you're kind of getting out of that range slowly but surely. I mean, 40 years is a long, long time. That's 40 recruiting classes. That's 40 opportunities to go out and win a championship, and you've only succeeded in that one singular time. That's not good. So, if anything, my hat's off to Penn State. You're at least showing your fans that you have a standard for excellence and that your expectation is to win national championships. Yeah. What it kind of seems like OU's standard is Brent Venables is an OU guy. He's a great culture guy. We're going to hope he sticks it out. Well, it's been 4 years. I mean, what do you mean? Like, because to be honest, if we don't make the playoffs this year, I don't think BV is going to win a national championship anytime soon. And this is kind of one of those things where I think this is the best team that he's probably had. Maybe, second to the 2023 team. And we're talking about how we got to beat South Carolina on the road or else our season's pretty much shot. That's not a good standard of excellence, in my personal opinion. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think the standard is definitely like, I respect what Penn State did, because it's not easy to hire a guy that has taken you to freaking New Year's 6 after New Year's 6 after New Year's 6 and been right there and to the semis last year. Like, it is not easy to make that. And, like, they were in the national championship conversation, like, 20 days ago. So,
yeah,
very respectable to be able to call it out that early. And, one thing that I think about is, like, people don't talk about this a lot, but OU fans were not happy with Lincoln Riley towards the end of his days.
Yeah.
If he didn't leave the next morning, there would have been talks. There would have been talks the next morning either way about him, about getting rid of him. And there was talks in that 2020 season and that 2021 season, because every year we lost to a team that we shouldn't have lost to every year. Yep. And people were saying, why does he do that? Like, that's not acceptable at OU.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that like, just one loss back then, and I get it's the Big 12, it's easier, but just one loss back then, man, and you were on. And if you're not winning a national title, even if you're going to semis, it's not enough here at OU. I think all of this is in the mind of the administration, and I think, I think the only mistake the administration has made with Brent Venables is giving him that extension in 2023. I think 4 years is an acceptable amount of time to give him. But the extension was rough, and the extension has put us in a weird situation right now, because we're not exactly, money doesn't exactly grow on trees in Oklahoma, so the extension has made things a lot worse for us. But other than that, I think the 4 years makes sense. But yeah, it's all on the line now. It's all on these last 6 games. I think these next 6 games determine a lot of jobs. DeMarco, Joe John, Brent.
Yep.
It goes all the way up. So hopefully, hopefully it works out for us, man. Or things are going to get ugly.
I hope so, dude.
last thing I kind of want to say is that I think there's like levels to, what a program kind of handles. Like, I feel like if for Penn State, James Franklin was stuck at that, he could make it to the semis, but he couldn't get over the hump. So there's different programs where it's like, man, I just cannot figure out how to have a winning season, how to go above 500. And it's like, okay, well, if you can't figure that out, you got to get out. And then there's teams where it's like, man, I cannot figure out how to go better than 8-4. And then once you figure that out, it's like, if you can't figure that out, you got to go. We'll get someone who can. And so then you get the ones that can be 9-3 and then 10-2. And there's people that also can't figure that out. And when that happens, you have to go. So BV is stuck in that mid-range where it's like, I don't know. You don't know if BV is going to go 6-6. You don't know if BV is going to go 10-2. You have no idea. But what you do know is that he's probably not going to go to the Natty. That's what you know, pretty much. Honestly, in these 4 years, there was no really time besides probably week 3 of 2023 when we played Nebraska that we were like, yeah, we might have it. We might be it. But never was there a time last year that I was like, oh, yeah, we're making it.
Yeah.
This year, I don't think I have been like, yeah, we're going to the Natty. I think I've been like, our defense is capable of winning us a Natty, but I haven't seen enough yet. And it's just, when is the point that we get tired of not making it to the Natty? Because
being in the conversation,
being at least being in the conversation. And now, I think the leash could have been a little longer with 4 teams, but now, I mean, I legitimately think if it is more than, if he makes it to the playoffs and we don't make it to the Natty this year, I think next year, if he doesn't get us to the Natty, we'll smell you, because there is no reason that you should have had, at that time, it would be like 5 recruiting classes, and this is what you claimed that you needed was your guys and your systems, and you can't make it work. We have, you get the 2 most important positions on offense, you get the number 1 guy at both positions, you can't do anything. You have an elite defense that's allowing probably, 12 points a game, 15 points a game, but you get this young Lincoln Riley OC, and what do? Are we going to make it to the playoffs? Are we going to go 9-3? Because seeing how the rest of the thing, and people are saying, OU fans were happy about going to 9-3 before the season started. Yeah, because I thought Texas was going to be a dog. I thought all these teams were going to be dogs. That's why we were all like, 9-3, because that would be good. If Texas was a dog and we lost, cool. They're not. Texas fans would tell you, we're not that great of a team. I really think if you're a truthful Texas fan, they would say we're not that great. But now it's like 9-3. Really? We should be 6-0. We should maybe go 10-2. Like with how teams are playing. Alabama, are they playing better now? Yes. But they lost to Florida State. Florida State's not very good anymore. They're not great. You get the Ole Miss, you're like, they were they beat, who they play last week?
They beat LSU.
They beat LSU, but they just
squeezed out of somebody really bad.
Not great last week. Yeah. So there's certain games, and it's like, we could have ran the table, honestly, and went just silly, went 12-0 and been like, let's do it. But we don't. So it's like, why do we fall to the standard of what everyone else is playing like? Why can't we just be great in a year where teams aren't playing good? But when every team wants to play good, that's when we're like, oh, we'll play decent, but then we're not good enough to play with the best teams. So it's just frustrating. I hope that BV understands that, hey, if I don't get with the program, I might be gone. But unfortunately, in OU fashion, I think he is just cool as a cucumber right now. I don't think he has anything to worry about, because I don't think we have the guts to fire BV, honestly.
Maybe not the money.
Yeah, and I guess that, dude, I'll donate. I don't have any money,
though. One last thing we got to talk about is the Big 12 Conference, man. Big 12 Conference. Brent Venables says in a press conference, this isn't the old Big 12 days where Oklahoma destroys everybody every single week except for one game of the year. Big 12 Conference, the official page tweets back, says Coach Venables lost 8 conference games in his 2 seasons in the Big 12. Listen, man, here's my thing. Brent Venables in the Big 12, he did suck. He did suck. However, dude, is there anything just more crazy than the Big 12 talking trash to the Oklahoma Sooners?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything more crazy? I actually couldn't even believe my eyes because the Oklahoma Sooners have 14 Big 12 championships, which I think Kansas State has 3, maybe 2. So if somebody wanted to catch up to the amount of Big 12 championships that OU has, we'd be in 2037 before that happens if they won every single year. So I thought it was pretty silly. Everybody else is siding with the freaking Big 12. Joel Klatt's siding with the freaking Big 12. Everybody is. DraftKings and everyone. But I'm just thinking, like, dude, who is the Big 12, man? Come on.
But it's also not like bro
Things
said,
are just getting over.
I dominate. It's not like I went out there. It's like bro said Oklahoma. When bro wasn't here, we were cooking. So there's not room to really talk much. But that's crazy that official Big 12 comments on that. That's silly.
Yeah, it's Brett Yormark, man. Yeah.
I don't have any. I have no words, dude. It's just
That's
that
fair.
is if there's anything
that
to
sums
resemble.
it up, bro.
Listen, yeah, I'll say if there's anything to
standard.
resemble the state of the program at OU,
Yep.
that's it right there. We have the Big
Yeah.
12, which we ran for 20 years, talking trash to us, and there's nothing we can do to back it up. That shows you the standard of the University of Oklahoma underneath Brent Venables. So,
And you want to know what else?
yeah.
Eli Drinkwitz, after the Missouri win last year, saying that, hey, Bob Stoops, Oklahoma doesn't always beat Missouri anymore. Just again, another sign of the times of like, man, where are we at as a program? Because if Missouri can talk trash to us, man, Bob Stoops, I just know Bob Stoops. Real quick, I just know Bob Stoops is just sitting in retirement, just thinking about it, just like, God, I just don't like what's going on. I
wish he
don't
came
like it.
back, bro.
Do it, Bob.
But I
do it,
just
Bob.
know that he just likes retirement too much, man. He just loves.
Gosh.
I just know it. I
I
know
mean,
he's loving
Bob,
retirement,
just
so.
put Brent at the DC. Bob, be the head coach, and we'd go on a generational run.
Dude, if
We'd go on a
Bob
run.
was the head coach, BV at the DC, and Ben Arbuckle at the OC,
We'd
we'd
go
go on a generational
bro.
run.
It'd be a
Go
run.
on a
It'd be
generational
Bama.
run.
It would literally be Bama.
I miss it, man.
Bob.
Anyways,
But it won't.
that's Oklahoma.
What if it's us three, guys? What if it's us three? What if we make Oklahoma, put Oklahoma on the map again, bro?
Yeah.
OC,
Yeah.
DC, and head coach, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, that's facts.
But it won't be because we're broke and open to work.
Hashtag open to work, man.
Hey, that's going to be DeMarco, Joe John, Brent in a few months. If they do not lock in, that's going to be them.
Open
Yep.
to work, baby.
We'll have a lot to talk about Saturday, I think. I think that the game is going to be very telling. So we'll be back Saturday with some something to say. Hopefully not something to be mad about.
X.
Peace.
Something
Peace.
to say.